Welcome back, you lot. Now, you may know, or you may not know, that Warhammer Quest is on its way back. It's making a return. Games Workshop did a little announcement a couple of days ago, and also there was a potato cam picture leaked not long after, which they have directly addressed by putting up a vote to see which of the four heroes should be unveiled first. That vote has come through, the miniature has now been shown off, and we're going to take a look at both of them. Before we get into it though, this video is sponsored by Warmag. We will hear a little bit more from them in a few minutes, but first, this is what Games Workshop put out yesterday. So, as you can see, they have just gone, here's the potato cam image, although I imagine they've taken their own, as opposed to using the one that was floating around, and, well, it's kind of interesting just to begin with, because one of the first things I spotted when they put this up, or at least when I saw the image initially, that is an interesting board they've got right there, because that doesn't really look like a board. If you take a look at it, it seems there's a spine going on there, which would mean that this, rather than being a collection of different maps like as what you get in Cursed City, is in fact a book of maps. That looks kind of likely, especially when you look at the border around the edges as well, making this potentially a much more condensed product, like a smaller box, less production overall, and of course the maps all being in one big book as opposed to being separate, potentially might mean that it's a bit easier to store. Maybe, kind of. I don't know if that's all the paperwork that you get within the box. It seems unlikely. I feel like there's probably got to be a bit more unless it's kind of stripped down. Plus, of course, there's no rulebook or anything in there either. So this, as images go, is a fun little teaser, and we can kind of make out a few things that are going on. I mean, there's quite a lot of miniatures in this. I think probably around the 40 range, something like that. I feel like maybe there's some gobbos in there. There's some nurgly looking stuff as well. It looks like it could be quite fun once they unveil the rest of it. But what they did was take the picture, zoom it in a bit, and give us these options where we get to decide who is unveiled first. Now, most people wanted the shortest of the lot. At least that's what I saw people saying pretty much all over various social media. Give us the dwarf or give us nothing. But that's not what's been selected. That's not what won the vote, weirdly. I say weirdly, the guy who was selected looks insane, so I can kind of see why people went for him. If you're wondering, these are the names of the various characters. We've got Inara Scion, the Cleansing Blade, Brentillis, the Renegade Saint, very cool title, Edmark Valoran, the Manticore Knight, and Drolf Ironhead, the Grizzled Explorer, which for some reason that does not sound as impressive in any way as any of the other titles, but hey, what are you going to do? But these four were put to a vote, and one of them won. And we're going to take a look at the one that won just after this. This video is sponsored by Warmag, which is my absolute favourite when it comes to army transportation and storage. You know the deal by now. You've got your really useful box, you've got a fancy base sheet, this is a new one, and you've got magnets that fit inside the rim of the bases of your miniatures, meaning that you can secure them nice and tight, wave the box around, and they're not going anywhere. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed that this box is somewhat bigger than the ones I've shown off before. That's because previously I've shown you the 4 litre and 9 litre boxes, which also come with a double-decker system. But this time round, Warmag wanted to show you the 6 and 12 litre boxes. This is also a new base sheet, by the way. Looks really nice. And to give you an idea of the difference, yeah, that's quite a bit bigger. That extra space goes a long way when it comes to storing your models as well. Of course, these are still really useful boxes, so they're still stackable, still easy to store. If you're looking for a great storage system for your minis, then check out warmag.com, use the link in the description or the pinned comment down below, and do not forget to use my code KIRIOTH for a cheeky discount at checkout. Oh, and by the way, if you have a hobby shop of your very own, Warmag are looking for trade customers. This is the kind of thing that you will be stocking. Get in touch with them, again, using the link in the description and the pinned comment down below. Thank you very much to Warmag for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to it. Look, you knew I was going to put the ad there. We both knew it was going to happen, so let's just chill out and carry on, shall we? Let's take a look at the Manticore Knight from Warhammer Quest Darkwater. As they say, with all the votes tallied up, old Edmark Valoran was the winner. And frankly, he looks pretty solid. Also, his little quote there, the "admit it, you are damn fortunate that I lowered myself to fight by your side." What an absolute prick. What a piece of shit. On the other hand, that's very funny, and I think that gives an incredible insight into this character's entire approach to everything. I mean, everything that this person is, I feel like you can get it from there, right? That is excellent character building. The fact is, though, I don't think you'd be surprised to learn that this guy is up himself based entirely just on how he looks. I mean, that is quite the strong look he's gone for here. When he says the Manticore Knight, he's really not messing around. The shield looks great. I really, really like the shield. It looks absolutely fantastic. It is a bit over the top, obviously. Maybe a little bit silly in some ways, but you know what? I love a proper, like, Bretonian style knight where you've got all that ornamentation, you've got all of that presence, and so much of it is just caught up in how over the top they look. I like the way they position the shield as well, with the cloak going over the side of it. That's quite a nice touch. Also, the cloak being dragged to one side, and also the... ooh, what would that be? Like the banner. I mean, it is like kind of a banner, isn't it? That's attached to the helmet. Why not? That's also kind of fluttering in the wind. I like that a lot. The helmet is very fun. It's got to be unwieldy. It has to be. That amount of extra weight on your head, that has got to make things kind of tricky when you are fighting. I feel like your centre of balance is all over the shop. Like, really, really out of whack with that thing on. But the fact is, it also looks pretty cool. I love the Manticore face that's on the helmet and then repeated on the shield. It just works super well. Also, the fact that the actual kind of engraving or like detail of it, it's pretty much the same across both, so the consistency is there. The wings look fantastic. Very, very extravagant. The helmet itself, I do quite like. I like the additional bit of plating in the centre that they painted gold. For some reason, I think that just adds a bit more sort of... it adds like a bit more arrogance to it, almost. The axe is surprisingly plain. For the rest of this model, I feel like that axe it's kind of erring on the side of just functional, which... that is an interesting way of doing it. I mean, I think I would have been tempted if I was like doing the brief for someone who talks like that and is called the Manticore Knight to extend that Manticore motif over to the weapon. But I think I prefer the way they've done it here. I think actually it works a little bit better, it being a bit more plain. With that helmet being so ornamented, with the shield having the big old like crest on the front of it, with the axe being kind of extravagant as well, it might just overload it a bit. Instead, you've got almost like a party up top, but business in the right hand approach, which I think it works pretty well. There is a little bit of tactical rock going on, but it's fine. It's okay. I'm not mad at it. It's okay. Besides, it does give some gravitas. It does give an air of importance to the guy, which he clearly feels like he has. So the armour, from what we can see, looks decent. It would be good to get a bit of a spinny view round. Luckily, there's a YouTube video embedded further in the article, which we'll take a look at in a moment. But yeah, I think that's a pretty solid model. That is a good, like, hero model. I think it would be easy to assume that this person is kind of arrogant just by the way that the model has been done. But again, having that little quote off to the side, I do like that. That's a very nice touch. So Valoran believes himself to be the greatest mortal champion of the armies of Hammerhal Aksha, and for all his arrogance, the so-called Manticore Knight has a fair claim to that title. And yet, his remarkable list of military achievements has been marred by recent disgrace. Of course it has. Of course. That's how it always works. That's the best way to do it. You take someone who's objectively great at what they do, you give them a string of abject failures to bring them down a peg, and then you shove them with a bunch of idiots that they otherwise wouldn't have gone anywhere near. It's a classic trope, and it works every time. So, during the knight's previous campaign, a chain explosion sent several splinters of raw Axian realmstone lancing through him. Oh, that sounds rough. Instead of laying him low, it caused Valoran to enter an elemental rage that ended with him slaying not only the foe, but also several comrades unlucky enough to get in his way. Alright, maybe abject failure is a bit harsh. That you could class as not being his fault, but you know, this experience has left him embittered and isolated. Well, it would. Willing to risk everything in the pursuit of redemption, he remains afflicted by his emberstone-riddled flesh. His body erupts into flames when he reaches the height of rage, burning anyone nearby who would do him harm. Oh, that sounds class. Is there... can we have a version of that model where it's just all on fire? Although painting that would be an absolute pain in the arse. Maybe not. Okay, let's take a quick look at the video and let's hope that maybe they spin him around. It would be nice if they did. Oh, we've got some panning sort of... oh, we've got a bit of spin. Not as much as I was hoping. I mean, we've got 2 seconds left. Hang on, let's just get a couple of the other angles. So you can see the action on the other side. Oh, we can see the sword a bit better. Sword and scabbard on there. It looks like he's got a little reliquary thing on the belt as well. A pouch on the back. Also, is that the surcoat, that bit? Some nice detail on there too. Get to see more of the armour on the arm as well, which is nice. And we can see the banner coming off the back of the helmet as well. So there's a bit of cloth or leather or something that is keeping both of them together when it meets the top of the helmet. Okay, cool, that's fun. Yeah, that axe is still pretty cool. I do like that axe. You can see a little bit more of the chainmail there as well, but nothing massive in the way of different angles going on. Which is kind of a shame. I was really hoping for one from the back. But you know what? We've got a little bit of extra. It's fine. I do like the way they frame this as well. Thanks to the tens of thousands of you who voted, our editor is still annoyed that his choice didn't win, so perhaps there are more reveals on the horizon. You mean you're not just going to show off the one dude from this potato cam image and then not show anything else off until you do the full reveal? Shocking. Shocking news. Anyway, that was the lad himself. That was Valoran the Manticore Knight. And honestly, looks solid. Looks really good. I'm really curious about the contents of the box though. Like, the miniatures, obviously, are going to be decent. They are. Games Workshop, generally speaking, don't do terrible miniatures on the regular, so I'm pretty sure most of these will look solid. But the content of the box, I'm really, really interested in. I'm really interested to see what they do with what looks like that big book of maps, stuff like that. I want to see more. Let me know what you thought of that, lad, in the comments down below. Once again, thank you very much to Warmag for sponsoring the video. Use the link in the description and the pinned comment down below. Don't forget to use the code Kirioth for a discount at checkout. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you for the next one.